Hi, Chom Lee here again for another bully tip for everybody out there. When I was a child, and even now, I have a big head. It's not my fault I have a big head, but I do have a big head. And growing up, a lot of the kids used to say, "Hey, fathead, your head is so big, how can you fit through that door? Hey, fathead, do you even have hats your size? Hey, fathead," even the smart ones used to say, "Your head is so big, it affects the gravitational pull of the moon." Now, as a child, right, how do you respond to something like that? And when you talk to some adults, they usually say, "Hey, ignore it. Be better than that. It shouldn't bother you," but it does. And for all parents out there, it's very important that you practice a pre-programmed response to deal with something like that. And so what exactly do you say? Well, let me use an analogy. In martial arts, we practice all the different ways that you can defend yourself against attacks. And one of the first things that we work on is the punch, right? Because if an attack comes, it'll most likely be a punch. So you can block the punch, you can get out of the way of the punch, you can duck underneath the punch. There are all these different moves that we practice, and we have a great pre-programmed response to that. And you also have to practice that verbally. And one of the ways that the verbal defense program does is that it has a pre-programmed response using many different tactics. And the first one I'd like to teach you is something called the humorous word block. The humorous word block is just using humor to diffuse whatever is being said to you. And it has to be appropriate. It's not a cutback, right? So for fathead, you could say something like, "You know what, it is hard finding a hat for this size head," or, "You know what, my head is big. Sometimes my shoulders hurt from just keeping it on my shoulders here or on my neck." Whatever you have, make sure it's funny enough that they can just block and move with it. Humor is not going to always work, but it's just one of the tactics that you want to use with your children. And as I said before, one of the best ways to practice is in the car with your children.